All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Cole. Thank you, Noel, and everyone for being here. Today, it's not only my session, it's actually me and Noel. We will be trying to collaborate with each other to see how this session is going to make a better impact for everyone. Now, I have already put together about 7 topics with one AMA at the back, Ask Me Anything. The first topic that we're going to talk about today is the custom formatting in Microsoft Excel. So the assumption made is that everyone here uses Excel, right? It's a huge assumption. I believe Microsoft Excel have not missed out anyone. I believe some point of your life you are using Excel. Either you just open it, read it, or you're just using it, right? If anyone here says that I have never seen Excel before, I would like to know who is that. All right. I'm going to share my screen. Noel, is okay for me to start?
Go ahead.
Yes,
Go
go
I
ahead.
ahead.
didn't prepare any slides today. I'm just going to go direct into the Excel. I'm trying to make use of the available time, the 1 hour slot, to cover as much as I can. Right. So yeah, you guys can see the screen.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, nah? Okay, cool. Let me see how I can pull this away from my screen. Right, cool. Now, I just want to share with you how Excel actually operates and how they actually do their work in computing using formulas and whatnot, right? So before we can even go there, we must understand the fundamental. So to me, as an instructor or as a trainer for over 24 years in Microsoft environment, I come to realize that Excel only read 2 types of data, and which is true. I validated that, and they only remember these 2 types of data, which is called the text and number. Right now, everyone uses Excel every day. I'm not sure whether you actually spend your time trying to think whether they are data type or not. So just a quick introduction to all the data type, the 2 data type, text and number in Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to do this in column F2. Now, if I type in 4,000, a value that is very common, we type in the number. Now, this particular cell, okay, sorry, let me just remove the 4,000. This particular cell, it does not contain any formatting. If you look carefully, this particular cell, it contains a general formatting, general data type. Here, the not general data type, general formatting, and it does not come with any left, center, or right. You notice it was not predefined. So if I type 4,000, as I mentioned just now, if I press enter, it will push the number to the right. And it's still in the general, and it did not detect anything about the number. It's still general and no left, center, right. Now, however, if I type here Paul, can I borrow your name for a while, Paul? All right, Paul. Now, if I type your name now and I press enter, the text will stay on the left. So the normal attribute of Microsoft Excel is that they will detect the content, and if the content is a number, they will push it to the right. And if they detect the content is a text, they push it to the left. That's how originally they control the attribute. All right. Now I believe someone in this room here has done this before, right? So if you might have put in like apostrophe, let's say 2000, something like that, right? You type in. If you start off with an apostrophe, basically this apostrophe is a shortcut that you can use to convert your number into a text. So let me validate that for you. You see, when I go to this exclamation mark, it says there the number now is no longer a number, but is stored as a text. So this value that you see, 2000, in the eye of Excel is no longer a number, it's a text. Therefore, when we perform the sum function, the answer will not be 6,000, but 4,000 only. Now, as the name suggests, the sum function, if you look at the function, it says that add all the numbers in the range of cell. So they are looking for numbers only. And if you have a text in that particular cell, they don't care. They don't care about that particular number, especially the 2000 here. So if I do this, then it'll get 4,000 because this is a text. Any questions so far?
All good.
Just to warm you up.
Question. I do.
Yes.
Kelvin, why would anyone want to convert the 2000 into text?
All right. Now, not 2000 per se. Usually when there is a trailing zero in front, for example, if I type 001000, if I just press enter, the double zero in front will just go missing. However, if I decide to put a zero in front, it could be like your invoice number, your employee number, your customer number, or some
Right.
social security number, or a phone number per se. So maybe some people need to put in a zero in front, so they will put apostrophe zero, right?
Okay.
Like postal
Makes
code.
sense.
Yeah, they do that as well. Okay, so I hope that answers your question.
Yep.
Now let me
Yep.
confuse
That's very
everyone
good.
a little bit, just a little bit. Just let me confuse everyone a little bit. If I do this equals to, and I use a different method to perform the calculation, I'll take F2 and I'll use a normal mathematical operator to add the 01000. When I press enter, the answer is going to be 5,000. So there will be a lot of people who uses Excel will start screaming and say, what is this Excel? You're crazy, you know? Why sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't know? When am I going to know this is going to work or this is not going to work? So yeah, this is going to be a little bit dramatic for some of the people here. Say, how am I going to know when am I supposed to use what to do the calculation? Now, the answer lies in the data type. So data type will only work with functions. Functions. I'm not writing any function here. I'm just performing a mathematical operator plus. I use a mathematical operation, which I use plus. I can use minus, I can use addition, I can use subtract, I can use division. I can do that. As long as I'm not using a function, a predefined function by Microsoft Excel, then that's fine. We can escape the two data type. Right? So this is one of those things that you will find yourself having when you work in your Microsoft Excel calculation. Now, I'm going to give you another example here on the right-hand side. Okay, so I'm going to take away the green color marker here. I'm going to ignore it. Right? So if you receive a set of data, for example, you downloaded the data from your operating system, some accounting system per se, or some database that you have in your SAP or Salesforce or whatever you download, and they are using a plugin that downloaded the data into a CSV file, maybe a text file to a CSV file before they landed in Excel. So finally, you'll get that piece of information, everything appear on the left. So you are not sure now whether this set of data is a number or text. So let's focus on the formatting at the top. It's general. There's no left, center, right. And they appear on the left. Okay, they appear on the left, not on the right. They are not. Right? So this is not a number. So when you perform a sum function, you notice that they don't get the total. Now let's confirm this again. I can actually ask Excel, hey, Excel, can I confirm if this is a number? So I'm going to use is number. I'm going to point it to this cell. I'm going to ask Excel that question. Is this I3 a number? They say no. When you see false, means the answer from the formula says no. Okay, so the formula that I wrote just now is this. Okay, it's number. So there's a way I can show you the formula. I use the formula called is formula text. I want to know what is the formula used in J3. Therefore, they will show me I'm using the is number function. Right. So if
Nice.
in case you want to make some notes, I just do that for you.
Thank you.
Now we know that these are all not numbers. So telling you the problem doesn't really help you at all, right? Giving you the solution is what is important, isn't it? Now, there are many ways a
Absolutely.
lot of people know, right? Well, what do you do if you want to turn this into a number?
Panic.
Panic. Now, If this is only 6 number, I believe just type it over, it should be fine. But if this is 60,000 row, I don't think you want to do that. Or even 6,000 row, I don't think you want to do that. So there are people there are some expert out there who will use the function. They will call it equals to value. And they point it to this side. Okay, so
Okay.
now I'm converting this to numbers. So I'm going to just drag this down. There you go. I have a set of number. So I just do the auto
Cool.
sum. Here you go, 39959. I can use the function. Let me just put down the formula text for you here. So equals to value. That's how simple you can convert it. Now, this trick that I'm showing you is good. However, you have to prepare another column that is similar to this. And at the end of the day, you need to remove one of them. Right? You are not going to keep both the column. So another method that I would like to introduce to you is just use what you are already a master in, copy and paste. I always say that everyone who uses computer knows how to copy and paste. Can I say that? Mike, what do you think? Are you good in copy and paste?
He's not prepared.
He's not prepared to answer. What about you?
My favorite, copy and paste.
Yes. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to type one, and I'm going to make a copy of the one. I'm going to paste it over this number here. But all of us here knows that if I just copy a 1 and I paste it over this set of number, it will turn this every single digit here, all the 6-digit numbers here into 1. But I'm not just going to paste it. I'm just going to go into the paste special. There's the special paste that I'm going to use. This paste special is located underneath here. You see this paste button here? It divided into 2. You use the one with the drop-down arrow. You should be able to find the paste special at the bottom. Not the top button. The top button just brutally just paste it down. We're not going to do that. We're going to go to this paste special. Now in this dialog box, let me push it aside. Most people who uses this paste special, they will ignore this center portion here. But this is where the magic starts, right? You can actually use a mathematical operation. Why is it that when we type 1 and we paste it into another cell, you will see all the 1? The reason why you see all the 1, because the operation was set to none by default. So what we're going to do is we're going to use either we multiply or we divide. Now, this is how it goes. We're going to take 6019 and we're going to multiply it with 1. So the answer is going to be still 6019. If you use divide, 6019 divide by 1, I'm still going to get 6019. So I can use either multiply or I can use divide. So I'm going to click OK. Ta-da! Now it turns to true. You see that? So magically, you do not need to create another column just for this kind of work. You can just do a copy and paste. All right, any question on that?
Awesome.
What do you guys think? So
Magic.
if you bump into this kind of situation in future, you don't really need to call for SOS. Just do what you do best, copy and paste. But this time, it's something special. It's a paste special. You do a multiply. We clear?
Awesome.
Right. So if you don't have any question, I'm going to come down to this portion again. All right. Now I'm going to get one of you here to play along with me. Cole, are you there, Cole?
Yes, yes.
Now, how do you type a date in an Excel? How do you type the date?
Number followed by a slash.
Before number, so do you type in day followed by month followed by year?
Yes.
Or you type the other way around where you have month then followed by day followed by year?
Normally
Which
I
one?
will type month. Sorry, day, month, year.
So you do day then followed by month followed by year. Now,
Yes.
basically Excel don't detect what you type, but Excel follows what your computer system do. So let me just double check with my computer. Okay, I'll go all the way down here and check. So this is how my computer reads the date. Today is the 3rd of May. So 3/5, which means my computer reads day followed by month, then followed by year. So if I were to insert a date into the cell, right? I will need to press the day followed by month followed by year, just exactly like what Cole mentioned just now. Now there is actually a shortcut key that we can use. Current date. We can insert a current date. So how do we do that? We can actually press Control, and you hold on your Control and you press your semicolon. You don't have to guess what your computer is using. You just press Control with a semicolon. So for those of you who have your Excel screen on, you can try this. Okay, so if I go to my cell now, I press Control with a semicolon, it automatically insert the date into my Microsoft Excel. But this date doesn't change. It's a static date where I'm just inserting a current date now. Boom, there you go. Now, do you notice that when I press Enter, the date actually goes to the right? Go. You again, Ko?
Yes.
If the date appears on the right, what does that tell you? A date is a text or is it a number?
A number.
A number, exactly. So let me just show you and let me prove to you that it's a number. Now I'm just doing this. On the right-hand side, I just say equals to F4. I just equal to the date. And I'm going to go to this cell G4, and I'm going to change this number format from date to general. That's today's number. Day, 3rd of May, 2022. The number is 44684. So every other date comes with a number. So this number basically is just a serial number. Okay, serial number. They are just a serial number. So if today, the 3rd of May, 2022 is 684, if tomorrow, 4th of May, will be 44685. And every other day, they just add one. And Excel start counting the number from 1st of January, 1900. 1900, 1st of January 1900 is number 1. Numbers start from 1. You cannot put here 0. It doesn't work if you put 0. Right? So there's no such date called 0 anyway. Right? So 1st of January 1900, it's the first day that Excel start counting the date. It has no other meaning. It's just a serial number. So if you want to have a secure password, you can do this. You can put in your birthday, just like I'm going to do now, right? 1973. So this is the 26697. I can use this for my password together with someone else's password. Combine it together. I have 10 numbers with some alphabets. It's going to be a very strong password. Now, if you tell them, what's your password? It's my birthday. Everybody will try this, but they will not try 226697. Okay. Or if someone just asks you, can anyone tell me what's the date today? Today is 44684. You try that with anyone. You try that with anyone tomorrow. If anyone asks you what's the date, you just tell them 44685. See what is their response. You are telling them the answer, but they just don't get it, right? Okay, we actually, the whole reason why I'm showing you this is, right, just try to think, all right, if today, 3rd of May, 2022, Noel gave me an assignment. He said, Kelvin, please complete this assignment in 100 days. 100 days. So I need to know when I'm supposed to submit this assignment to Noel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to auto submit. I'm going to sum up all this number. And I'm going to submit to him on the 11th of August. Now I told you my computer is reading day, month, year. That's why I'm reading 11th of August 2022. So how does it work is, let me just copy this down. See, they actually take 44684. They add up 100, become 44784. So how does a date apply the mathematical operation? It's because behind each of the date is actually a number. Right? So I just want to clarify to all of you, do not read the date as if they are text. They are not, unless you input them as a text. For example, my computer reads day followed by month followed by year. However, if I decided to please my counterpart in US, so I say, oh, today is the 25th of May. So when I press enter, it doesn't read this as a date. Now remember, day m slash y. So that's how my computer reads the date. So if you look at this, day is the 5th, month is the 25th. Is there 25 months in our calendar? The Excel doesn't read this as a date. So it all depends on the settings in your computer, in your control panel. If you go to the regional setting, you can choose English UK, English US, or English Malaysia, or English Australia, or whatever country you're in whatever region you're in. You just look at the settings that are being put in. So you just have to follow that particular setting. If you try to play around with this, then you may not get what you want. Get what I'm trying to tell you? Right. So you have to be careful with all this date when you enter the information. Right. Now let's not talk about data entry. Let's talk about presentation. Let's talk about presentation. Huh? Now, if I'm going to put in my date like this now we are going into the formatting, the topic that I'm going to talk about today. Number formatting. Okay, number formatting. So this is the 3rd of May, 2022. But if I'm going to present my work internationally to my international audience, anyone who reads this, they will have their own interpretation. So this is the 3rd of May. Some will read it as 5th of March 5th. They read this as 03 as March, and the date is 5. So it becomes the March 5th, or in some countries, they read this as 3rd May. So it's very confusing. Never present your work in a boardroom or in the meeting room or in online virtually. Don't present your date this way because it's going to mislead the people who read your date. So how you're going to do this is I'm a right-click person. I do a lot of right-clicking. I'm going to right-click the cell. I'm going to go into this format cell. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to the custom. I'm going to show you guys how they actually do this. This is how they show the date. D for day, M for month, Y for year. That's how they work on this. So I'm going to remove everything. So it says there 44684, which is what I have shown you earlier. Now, if I put a D, 1D, it show you 1 digit. Okay, then I put a space, I put 1M, you see the 5 is also a single digit. If I put 2M, it's going to show me 2 digit. But the moment I put 3M, it turns that into MAY. Now, it so happened that this month, May, is only have 3 character. Now, doesn't mean 3M is 3 character for all the, what do you call that? It's going to show 3 character, and 4M is going to show 4 character. No, 3M is the name of the month in short. For example, if January, you will read it as JAN. It will not be JANUARY because JAN is the short name of the month. But if I put 4M, it will show me the full name, January. Like I said, it so happened that this month is May. You don't see the impact, whether I put 3M or 4M. Now, I may change the date to other date later, but I'm going to put 3M now and put YYYY. Okay, so if I continue on and I say, I want to know this 3rd of May, 2022 falls on which day? So I put there D3, right? If I put 2D, it becomes 03. But if I put the 3D, it tells me it's TUE, short for Tuesday. If I need the full name, then I'll put a 4D. It'll tell me that today is a Tuesday. Now let me just press enter. That's how it looks like. Okay, now, sorry about that. I should have copied the formatting first. I think. So that's how the formatting works. The D, M, and Y. Okay, so just to give you some idea how this thing works. Now, I'm going to put in today's date again, right? And you see that this is how they appear. If I put in the 3rd of May, if I design it this way, it's going to be 352022. So I only use a space. That's why they look like this. Some people use dash, some people use slash. Now, if I put 2D here, it'd be 03052022. If I put 3M, as you already see, and let me just try another month. Let's say I put there 25th of 2022. So you notice that the 2 becomes FEB, February, it becomes day of the week. Depends on what you are using. Okay, now there's a formula in here that I've written. I've written some formula in here. So I'm just saying that if the cell is blank, then don't show anything. But if it's not a blank, then you show me the date. So I'm going to take this away. You say when it's blank, it will be blank. So you look like it's very clean. But the moment I put in a date, for example, now let me just put there 20th of August 2022. There you go. Here, AUGUST. So it is better to present your date in a form of wording, rather than to make it appear as 08 or 8 and so on, because this one will confuse the international audience that you have, right? For example, like this, right? This one. Now, let me show you something very important here. No matter how nice you present this data, this is just a cosmetic change of the date. The original date is still intact. You notice in the formula bar, it still shows the same date, but it is presented in the way that you have done some cosmetic change to it, and they become very informative. They have a lot of information in that 3rd of May 2022. So 3 May 2022, and they tell you which day you are in. Okay, so if you present like this, no one will ever question you, what day is that? Because they can see it from here. You can see from here. So if like tomorrow is the 4th, then it's Wednesday. So if you want to find out on the 14th of May, it falls on what day? It's a Saturday. You can always just change the date and you will see. It doesn't change anything in your data entry, but it changes the way it is displaying the data. Any questions so far? How is that?
Good.
Oh, you guys understand what I've been trying to preach here, lah. So always make your audience read the data easily and understand what you are trying to present. Always remember, whatever report that you prepare is never for yourself. It's always for other people to read. So when the other person reads it and they understand it, you have done a good job. If you have prepared a whole week, but no one understands your report, that makes it a very bad report. Right? So formatting can help you to display your data in a way that you and everyone else understand. Now, I'm going to give you another very critical example here. Okay, everyone, take a look at this. I have
Kelvin,
a yes. Yes, ma'am.
before you jump into that, right? Can you show us how you changed the format to day, month, year in your system?
Day, month, year. Okay, it's actually
Yeah.
in
Say,
your
let's say, for
control.
example, you are using a system that is already showing month, day, year. So you want to switch that around.
Right, so we have to call out our control panel, right? I close the other first. Okay, I remove my Excel for a while. Okay, so I'm going to go to this region. So under this region, this is where I'm going to change the format. So you see, now I'm using English United Kingdom. If I change this to United States, it'll be month, day, year. If I change it back to the UK, it will be day followed by month followed by year. This is nothing that I have set. It's actually come with the Windows. It comes with the Windows. So it depends on which country you are from. You just have to choose from here. If you're from Switzerland, you just choose Switzerland, and they will be using day, month, year as well. Okay, so if I'm using UK, I can use Malaysia actually. It's Malaysia. Yeah, English Malaysia. So it's day, month, and year. It's still following day, month, and year. So I didn't design all this. All this are with Microsoft. It comes in a Microsoft Windows. So I'm going to turn it back to UK. That's where you change. Right. That's where you change.
Thank you.
Okay, I can bring it back. Let me just pull it back here. Right. Thank you for the question, Noel. Awesome. Now, I typed this set of number. Now I'm going into number formatting now. I type this set of number. This number is in the backward order, in a descending order from 1 to 8. So it's 87654 321. 87,654,321. Now, usually, if we have a set of number that looks like this, we will normally format it so that it's easy to understand. So what we'll do is we'll just click the comma style. Click this little comma here, and our number looks awesome. Right? Now, so far my numbers are in million, so it's fine. If your company are dealing with numbers which are very big, like in billion and millions and so on, now the bosses do not want to see all the number in 10 digit. You see, now we have 10 different digit in there. I'm talking about 8 digit as a number and then 00 at the back. So all in about 10 digit with 3 symbols. So altogether there are 13 characters in here. Now, what if your boss decided to say, and can you please round up this particular number so that it only shows the nearest million with 1 decimal place? Which means in this case, it should be 87.7. Because this 5 here, because of the 5, we have rounded up to 7. And we want to have a M situated at the back. Okay, so that's how we want them to appear. However, I'm not planning to type it myself like this, because if I type out myself like this is not going to be number, and I can't use this for calculation later. Remember, they're on the left, and it comes in an alphabet, so it does not show this as a number anymore. Now, I would like to preserve the information here as number, but showing 87.7 M. So how am I going to do it? I'm going to apply some cosmetic change onto this. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to right click, go to the format cell. Okay, so if you look into the numbers, since these numbers are in million, they comes with 2 comma. It comes with 2 comma. So the default formatting that normally you will see they use is this one, the hash symbol and the 0. So this is the default formatting. So let me show you again. Okay. You see the number on top here and this formatting down here, hash, comma, hash, 0.00. So because of this format, they turn out to be like this. Okay, and every million comes with 2 comma here. You see 1 comma and another comma. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use what I know about the formatting to simplify this into something called 87.7 with an M at the back. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. All right, so let me just show it to you. Now, since I need only 1 decimal place, then I won't use .00. I would use just 10. Because 20 means 2 decimal place. 3 zeros mean 3 decimal places. So I want to have a single decimal place. So I remove one of the 0. Then I would like to round up to the nearest 1,000. So I just put a comma. When I put a comma here at the end of that 0, it actually rounded up my value to the nearest million. No, 1,000. You see that? It rounded up to the nearest 1,000. Okay. If I want to round it up to the nearest million, there's another 1,000 here. So I'm going to put another comma right after that. Then it becomes 87.7, right? Now, I want to put an alphabet M at the back. So I need to put the double quotation, the double string, text string, and I'll put the M. Going to copy this out and put it outside to show that you can see it. It's a little bit blur when I zoom this in. So I'm just going to copy this. And this is how they're going to look like. So the formatting that I'm using is this. Formatting that I'm using is this one. Hash, comma, hash, hash. I put a double comma here because it comes in a million. So million has 2 commas in it. Then I put the alphabet M. Right. Now, some of them like to do this. They like to put that MIL. You're allowed to do that. You can put more than one character. Any number of character. You want to put MILLION, go ahead. Now, I normally dislike using MIL because it sounds like mother-in-law. So I just don't want to do that. I just leave it as M. Okay, just leave it as M. Then it's good. It's good enough to tell me that this is in million. All right, so there you go. If I type in another different set of number, there will be an M. If I type a different set of number, it will be an M. Now, are you impressed with that comma, and text string at the back here? All right, just give me a thumbs up if you think that's great. Yeah, Cole likes it. How about the rest? Lee? Right, everyone? Yeah, nice, huh?
Thank you.
Now, this particular formatting has a problem. Let me tell you what's the problem. Huh? If I go to this cell now and I type here 49,275. Assume I just whack some number here, right? When I press enter, it turns out to be 0.0 million. Now, take a look. I can buy a car with this amount of money, right? The smaller compact car. I can buy a car for cash. But here it shows 0.0 M. How can we present this to our boss? We cannot. We are not supposed to do that. The reason why they are doing this is because the number is just too little for us to round it up to the nearest million. Therefore, it turns out to be 0.0 million. Now, let's make this formatting a little bit more dynamic. Dynamic in the sense that they will evaluate the value before they decide which formatting they should use. Now, that's where comes the conditioning of the cell. Now, I'm not going to talk about conditional formatting so much. I'm going to talk about cell number formatting. So we're going to change the formatting slightly in order to get that feel of a conditioning. Right? So let's do that. I'm going to right click. Right? I'm going to format cell. Okay, so this is what I'm using so far. Okay, so I'm going to do this in front of this formatting. I'm going to use a square bracket, and I'm going to put there greater than equals to 1 million. Okay, now let me type this out here. And let me type it here to let you see. Now, it's actually greater than equals to 1 million. This is 100,000. Sorry, this is million. All right, then close bracket. Then what do I do is I just tell them hash, comma, hash, hash, 0.0, comma, comma, and I put the M. So that's what I add on, the front part. This is the one that I add on. This will be the conditioning that I'm talking about. Right? So I'm actually setting up my own condition. I'm setting up my own condition to check. Excel, can you please check for me if this is greater than 1 million? If this is correct, okay, if this is correct, then they will jump to this formatting. However, if this is wrong, then where does it go? So there's a question mark. Where do they go? There's a question mark. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to prepare the second formatting so that there is a room for them to move. Okay, so let me do that. I'm going to the end here. Now the separator between the first code and the second formatting code is a semicolon. Right, so I'm going to put a semicolon. Now I'm going to copy the whole entire thing and paste it at the back. I'm lazy to type all over again. So I just go in here, just type, just remove 30. I'm going to turn this into 1000 and I'm going to change the M to K. Right, I'm going to remove one of the comma. All right, so just zoom in. Now, if you look carefully, if this is correct, they will come here. They will use the million. But if the first check here, is it more than a million? The answer is no. The answer is no. Then they will come here. They will check. Is this more than a million? Yes. Then they will use this formatting. So now I have set up two conditions. First, I check whether they are more than a million. Then I check whether they are more than 1000. So I'm going to use the K instead. So what happens if this is wrong? Then they are supposed to come to the last formatting here, which I'm going to just put there 0.00. Now, because if it's not more than 1000, then it's going to show you just the hundreds, the tens, or just a whole number. Right? So I'm just going to use this one. Let me copy this out. Okay, there you go. So let me put the formatting here. So let me differentiate them with color. So black, red, and black. So if you look at this cell, I'm going to color this cell red, color this cell with white. Now you look at this cell versus this formatting. If I change this number to a huge number now, it turns out to be in million. Okay, if I change it to 2 only, it will say 2.00. But if the cell comes in million, in thousand, then it will be in thousand. So they will use the second formatting if the number are within thousands. The moment they go above a million, then they will use this formatting. So if the value is not more than a million, not more than 1000, then they will use the third formatting. Okay, so basically this is how the conditional can work within a cell. It does not require you to have to use what we call the conditional formatting. Now there's a test done. There's a test done on the number. Okay, there's a simple test done on this. If you want to prepare the same thing using conditional formatting, okay, you want to do this, not an issue, right? Not an issue. However, the loading and the preparation for the conditioning, if you have a few thousand or more than, let's say 100,000 row, the processing speed is much longer compared to the cell formatting. You will notice each time you change the number, you will have to wait for a while because they are processing all the condition before they can actually format it for you if they use the conditional formatting. But if you use the cell number format, the processing speed is 3 times faster compared to the conditional formatting. It was written somewhere in one of the article by Microsoft. In the Microsoft support forum, they actually mentioned that. So how can I do this similar in conditional formatting to cell formatting? So I have to click on the cell, come here. So I have to tell them that now for this one, I need to set the cell rule. I don't want to just color, okay? Or I can do that as well. If I say, if this value is greater than or equals to, this one is 1 million, right? Then I want to format it to the custom format here. So I put here hash comma hash hash 0 0.0 comma then M. Okay, if they are more than 1 million. So I hit OK, hit OK again. So nothing happened to this guy. Why? Because this number is not more than 1 million. Therefore, I need to set up another rule greater than. Then I have to put this one as 1000. And I'm going into the formatting here. Some format. I will use back the same one right at the bottom here, but I'm going to change this one to K. Take away one of the comma. There you go. Now they change, right? So I think I removed too many. So let me just go back and change. Comma. Okay. Okay, let me just take a look at my rules. Median. Okay, so if these numbers are in million, and these numbers are in million, you will notice that these are very big numbers. Then it will turn into, oops, this is only 45 million. What did I do? I must go back here to change the rule down. Push it down. Push it down. Okay, so if this is in 1000, then it will show. Now you notice that just to show the same thing, just to do the same thing, I have to set up two rules just to make sure that they are arranged in the proper order. That's why they are taking longer time to process, because one rule after another for each of the cell. Therefore, they take longer to process each and every rule if you use the conditional formatting. Okay, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against conditional formatting. If you are working with conditional formatting, okay, be ready to have your system slow down the entire process. And then you will be complaining that your file gets slower and so on. So another alternative to this kind of formatting is to use custom number formatting. Remember, if it's about the number, you can use the cell number formatting. But it's about the cell color, no. Number cell formatting doesn't control the cell color, only the cell formatting. I repeat that, only the cell number formatting and not the cell color. Like this one, I change it to red, right? Just to tell you that this is where I'm changing the value. Okay, if I turn it back to no color and black, this is how it looks like. Okay, this is how it looks like. Same. Okay, so this is just another example of conditional formatting that you can use. Any question? You guys there?
Yes,
Now,
yes,
this,
yeah. And this is really good.
now, let me know if you need any help on this. Anyway, the recording is there, so you can always watch the recording to revise on this if you want, if you're interested. So for those of you who prepare annual reports, your balance sheet and so on, the numbers are just too big. For large corporation, the numbers are just too big. How can you simplify so that all your stakeholder can understand your report really quick without having to count how many commas are there in the number before they can decide that, oh, this is in billion? No, they might be reading it wrongly. So you just put this in B is in billion, M is in million. All right. Now, besides using custom formatting for this, we can also use it for another reason. Now, this is going to be my last demonstration for all of you here. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. I'm going to start with this. Now, I have a performance here of the sales in year 2020 and years 2021. So if you look at the first product, Storm, the sales decline. There you get a negative 6,000. Now, for Tuba, the sales increase. For Lombok, the sales status quo, no change, right? But for Captain, this product increase in sales. So what I want to do now is I want to change the cell formatting where I want the positive value to appear as blue, whereas the negative value appears in red. If it's a zero value, no change, I want it to appear as green, let's say. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Right click, format cell. Now I'm going to stick with this formatting here, this formatting that they are using. Okay, just that I'm going to add in the color. So I told you if it's a positive color, I want it to be blue. So I type blue. And when it's a negative value, I will put it as red. Okay, so let me just zoom in and show it to you. Okay, so this is when it's a positive value. This is when it's a positive value. And the second one here is when it is a negative value. Negative value. So how Excel works is that they always put the first priority formatting for positive. The second priority is negative. And the third priority is actually the zero value. Right? So I'm going to add one more at the back. I'm just going to add one more at the back here. So I'm going to go to the back, put a semicolon. Then I put there green. And I just put a zero. So I type a green, then I put a zero. All right, so let's see what happened now. Let me copy this out. There you go. So this is the three different color that you see just now. Red, green, and blue. Blue when it's a positive value, red when it's a negative value, green when it's a zero value. When the number here change, let's just say this one is only 61 actually, it turns negative. If this is 8, then it turns positive. So each time the value has been updated, the number will change accordingly. You guys okay with this so far? Now, many of us don't like the blue. Many of us don't like the green because they are very bright fluorescent color. So I have a file which is also inside that shared folder that I gave. Okay, let me just open up this file. Okay, there you go. In Microsoft Excel, each of the cell can hold up to 56 color. And each color is given a code. So 1 is for black, 2 which is white. You see, this is white on white, you can't see, but when I put a darker background, you see it's white. So number 1 is for black, number 2 is for white. But for number 3 is red, 4 is green, 5 is blue. And these are all the number that represent that particular color. So let's just say I don't like the blue and the green. So I decided to change this green color, which is a very bright green. I will change it into this color, color 10. And for the blue, I'll change it to, let's say, 23. I use the color 23. So how do I change it? I have to type C-O-L-O-R, American spelling, C-O-L-O-R, followed by the number. So it's 10 for green, 23 for blue. So let's go back to the other file. I change this again, format cell. So for the blue, I'm going to put there C-O-L-O-R 23. And for the green, I'm going to remove the green. I'm going to put there C-O-L-O-R 10. Okay, so let me just copy this again. And I put it up here. This is what I changed. So look at the color. It has changed to a lighter blue, not that bright dark blue, and it's not the bright green. It's the green color, number 10 that I have chosen. Do you understand so far? Can Okay, now one last addition that I want to put in here. Now, this is the coloring for the number. Now, to make my report easy to understand, I do not want them to just observe the color, but I want them to know whether the product is an increase in sales or is a decrease in sales. I can just put the formula across like that, just equal to the same formula. I highlight this. Now this time, I'm not interested to show the value. I would like to show a triangle pointing up, an arrow pointing up when it is a uptrend. If it's a downtrend, then I want to have a triangle pointing down. So I'm going to do this. Right click, format cell, right? I'm going to remove everything here. I'm not going to put in anything here. Huh? I just remove it. I am going to use icon to represent them. Okay, so I'm going to press Windows, then with the full stop. I hold down my Windows. Then I press full stop. I can get emojis. Okay, I want to use arrow. So I type this up arrow. Right. Of course, you can go to other types of arrow from other source. Maybe there are many other arrow. You want to use ice cream or whatever, go ahead. Right? Or you plan to use heart shape or all this kind of arrow, different type of arrow. If there is another arrow, looks similar to me. Yeah, this is up arrow, down arrow. You can use this type of arrow if you want to. I'm going to use that triangle arrow just now. Okay, so I already have one symbol. So I just put a semicolon. Okay, then I'm going to press Windows dot again. I'm going to put that arrow. I'm going to use the down arrow. Okay, let me close this one. Semicolon again. Then Windows dot again. I'm going to use a green color heart. Green color heart when it is neutral. So for this one, I'm going to put there COLOR 10. So for the second one here, I'm going to put there COLOR. No, this is not color. This one is red. Red is red. Then the first one, I'm going to change it to color 23. So just put a color. Now, do you notice that I did not use any of the hash symbols or the zero symbol, which means no number will appear. If you look at a sample, it does not contain any number, only the symbol. I'm not actually planning to show any number anyway. So let me just copy this. What did I do? Okay, I must have forgotten the semicolon here. Let me copy this. All right, so there you go. So instead of using the number, I'm just showing the symbol. There you go. So when I'm presenting it to my stakeholder, I can always show the icons. In any icon that I like, I can put it there. So that is a lot of different it can give you a lot of different impact during your presentation. Okay. If all these numbers are in million, you use whatever formatting there and change the color. It's okay as well. It's okay when their numbers are big and small. You can put in a lot of condition in front, you see. Yes, Stephanie. You have a question?
I
Stephanie,
think
you raise your
Stephanie
hand.
have a question.
You raise your hand, right?
Hi, I'm sorry. My light is off. Sorry, Kelvin. Good evening. Okay, I
Yes,
just want to repeat again. Said actually, the way to get the symbol out is
Windows.
Windows.
You press your Windows with
And then
the dot.
full stop.
Yes, the full stop.
Is this because my one is Windows 7, so it didn't come out?
Oh, Windows 7. Windows
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
this
not
is
sure Windows 7 they have it already.
Windows 7 should be window key plus semicolon.
window crease plus semicolon. No, cannot.
Also don't have.
I also don't have. This is why I keep on trying. I say why? It's
Okay,
going
never
coming
mind.
up. It's okay. It's okay.
The legacy method is like that. We go
Yeah,
to
yeah.
insert
Yeah.
symbol. Look for the symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the legacy one you have to do like that. So
Yep.
it's better to use the font called Arial. Because most of the fonts are built under the same structure with Arial, like Calibri, Helvetica, all these are under the same fontographer. They use the same key structure with Arial. So I'm just going to use Arial. And if you scroll this down to the third line, the third line here, somewhere, you will notice that there will be some symbol. There you go. All these symbols are here. So you can click this one, insert. You can click this one, insert. And then you can use any other symbol. Let's say musical note lah. Okay, insert. So these are the three symbols. So all you need to do is just copy them, and then come here and you just go to the format cell. You do the same. Just put the symbol in. Then all you need to do is just put a semicolon in between them.
Okay. It's help. It help, especially for
Yeah.
those window is not upgraded.
Yeah. So this one is color 23, right? Color 23. Then the second one is, wait, let me just move correctly here. Red. And then the musical note, I'll use the color 10. Okay, so let me just copy this. I'll put it out. Okay, so put it here. You must be wondering why nothing appear, right? Now, because there's no number in here. We're just going to put equals to this cell. And you will see. Okay, what did I do? Oh, there's a dot there. Okay, there's a mistake here because I put a dot there. Okay, let me just go in and the cell. I shouldn't put a dot. I should put a space. Okay. So this one, I can format this in the center, just like the rest of them. Okay, so you just go to the insert symbol, look for those symbols that you want. Now, if you pick it up from Wingdings, the font structure is different. So after you have picked up a symbol from Wingdings, then you must come back here, highlight this cell, and change the font to Wingdings. Otherwise, you won't see any symbol.
Okay. Understood.
This one, a little bit of a thing to remember. If you are picking up the symbol from other than Arial or any other fonts, you notice you must use back that font, especially like Webdings, Wingdings, Monotype, all those kind, Monotype, those kind of things. Those you need to make sure that it's the same type of font that you picked it up from. Only then you will see the symbol. I use Arial. Even though I didn't use Arial, I use Calibri, I will still see the symbol, because they are built based on the same photography structure, same positioning. Florence, sorry, Stephanie, I hope I answered your question.
Yes.
It's actually Windows dot, but since you have not updated your Windows to Windows 10, then you haven't got it yet.
Yep.
Basically, Windows dot is not for Excel. This Windows dot is a Windows program. It can be used in anywhere. If you're using your WhatsApp in your system, you can press Windows dot and you can still choose the emoji from there. Even in Microsoft Word, even in Microsoft PowerPoint, you can do that as well. In any software at all, you can still use your Windows dot. You can insert the emoji into your work. Okay.
Yeah. But
Very good. Thank you, Stephanie, for the question. Right.
Yeah.
So anyone else with a question?
Yeah, Kelvin. Maybe I just for the similar analyst, always that we have one in already in Excel. It already we have one analyst that he can be up, down, and then equally. Actually, what that function work?
Sorry, your question again.
Okay.
Actually, what?
Okay. Previously, in Excel, it already built in one function is how to analyze it. So when you have one row of data, it will show up, down, or maybe equal one analyst icon.
Are you talking about this one?
Something like this. I think this one you have to data bar there. That one you will yes, this is the one, the icon set.
Icon set lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually versus this one. You can use as well. Okay, so let's just say I do another one over here, right? I say equals to this set of number. Okay, so all this set of number, I want to use the conditional formatting instead. Right, so icon set. Do you think it will work or not? Let's try. It will not know how to do this using conditional formatting because it's not based on whether it's up or down. It's not up on whether it's positive or negative value. So let me just go to icon set. Which one do you want to use? This one. Okay, maybe this one. And I want to go into the formatting now. Edit the row. Now I only want to see the icon. I don't want to see the number. So I say show icon only. Okay, so show this up arrow when the value is greater than or equals to. Now put there greater than, put there 0. Make sure that it's a number. And then use this one when it is equals, greater than or equal to, this one is also 0. So when it's less than 0, they will show you this. So you use this method. No? When it's greater than 0, you use this one. If it's greater than or equal to 0, then you use this dash sign. Otherwise, if when it's less than 0, then you use a down arrow. Right? So let's click OK and apply it. There you go. You can still get it. When it's a positive, it must be more than 0, right? When it's a negative, it must be less than 0. So what happens if it's equal to 0? You put there greater than equal to 0. So you still get the same rule. But you notice I didn't put in a numbering. Now that's because it says here, show icon only. I don't want to see the value. The value is already in the cell here, L. So I can show this. So there's more than one way to get this thing done. Is that what you have in your system? You were saying your Excel system?
Yep. Because always that I skip one step, I didn't go to the condition to set up the condition. This is why sometimes I do some data analysis. I found that actually it's up, but why it show down? Then now you get.
You have to edit the rule.
Yes, I did edit the rule. Finally, I knew what I'm going wrong now. Yeah.
You have to edit because it's a positive or negative value. So it depends on what you are using for the up. Is it greater than 100? Anything less than 100 is what? You have to understand that. But I'm using positive and negative value. So I use 0.
Okay.
Change this to number. Don't use percentage.
Okay.
Okay. Very good question again. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that because it's quite similar. Rule. That's why I like to bring it up so I can learn it together. Yeah.
You see, this particular conditional formatting, right? A lot of people out there are using this, definitely. But I would like to suggest you try this format instead. Try this one instead. And now I only have 4 value here. If I have 40,000 or 400,000 row, right? You can actually check the speed. The moment you change something, how long does it take to refresh all this icon?
Yeah. It's really refreshed my mind today to have another way to doing data analysis. Yeah.
Yes. So in your case, it's a bit different. You have to go to the insert symbol.
Yeah. It's okay.
Mm.
That one it don't harm anything. Just a small step only.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I think I overshot the time again. Thank you. So thank you guys for still staying with me. So is
Really
there
good sharing, and it helped us to clarify a lot of wrong way of doing formatting, and also the way to improve the calculation speed, like especially while we are using conditional formatting in the whole column or many numbers of columns, then it actually makes a lot of difference.
Yes, if it's only like 6 cell, 4 cell, never mind. You can use either way. You will still don't feel the speed. You won't feel the speed.
And what if certain field you actually make it wrong, right? And then this will actually crash your whole Excel.
Yes, yes.
Yes. This is very important, and it's a very good sharing. And although it's so-called basic, but I think it's the fundamental of to get the conditional formatting right in the
Yes.
first place.
It is fundamental. It's not an easy fundamental. It's
Yeah.
fundamental in the sense that you must understand the base. Once you
Yes.
understand the basic, a lot of other things can build on top of it.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
Very good.
Stephanie, you got a question. Your hands up.
I'm
She
sorry.
asked already.
I asked
Okay,
already. Yeah. I didn't remove my hands up. Yeah.
Good, really good. All right. Thanks, Kelvin, for the great sharing. Right. There's a
problem.
feedback form actually link that pastes in the chat window. Feel free to share your feedbacks to us,
Yeah,
especially
let
to
us
Kelvin.
know.
And on the near future, on the area that's how you can actually come up with something more interesting for us to learn. Right. And do join us next week with more interesting sharing from Kelvin.
So, Cole, you want to share the screen again so that
Okay.
we know what's going to happen next week?
Right. Hold on for a while. I share the next topic for coming weeks. Right. All right. Everyone can see the screen.
Yeah.
So today we are basically covering the custom formatting and the conditional formatting. For next week, we're actually covering the area like cell references and naming range. This is another interesting area where it can actually help us to actually have a better understanding and the correct way in terms of doing cell reference and naming range.
Yes.
Right. So thank you very much, and please join us again next week with a great sharing from
So,
Kelvin.
if any one of you want to reach me, you saw my number and my email address. You can contact me lah. Right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kelvin.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Noel, you gonna stay for?
Thank you. Yep.
You gonna stay for?
Yep, sure.
Cole can stop the recording.
Okay.